object moving against high winds. It appears to rotate like a gimbal while maintaining a stable flight. And yeah, you could hear the pilot say, look at that thing, it's rotating. Welcome back to Kili's AI Paranormal Research. All right, more on UFOs, and I think I'm sort of coming around now to calling them UAPs because that is the contemporary nomenclature. That is what the U.S. government is referring to them as. It's probably high time we started referring to these by its official name. Now, having seen the video with the object deflecting the missile, or at least having the missile having very little impact, I'm curious now as to what other videos the U.S. government is looking into or has at least confirmed could be evidence of UAPs. So, we have 3 publicly available videos that the U.S. government, via the United States Department of Defense, the DoD, and the United States Navy has confirmed, officially released and or authenticated as evidence of what are now called unidentified aerial phenomenon. I do believe that has been updated to unidentified anomalous phenomenon. All right, well, let's take a look at this one. Officially released in 2020 by the Pentagon of 3 Navy pilots, including what are commonly known as a FLIR, gimbal, or go fast clips. Let's take a look.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS, though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's a... Look at that thing. It's rotating. Nickel 6-1 Tango, Roger. Hey, go ahead! Woohoo! Roger. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that fly!
Wow, those are very interesting clips. This one takes some further examination in its own right. I'm not exactly sure what to make of that, but all right, so in the previous clips that we just saw, again, it's important to note that these are released by the Department of Defense. So you can see that it, at least if you're looking at the 6 observables, hypersonic velocities, instantaneous acceleration, anti-gravity characteristics, transmedium travel, low observability or cloaking, and biological effects, anti-gravity characteristics look, the one that's rotating in the first clip, it does sort of display that that element of the 6 observables. So let's take a look at here before we go on to the next 3. And I'm not so sure, including what are commonly known as FLIR or gimbal. Let's just see our what these are in terms of the definitions of what ChatGPT is trying to tell us here. I'm suspecting that these are informal names, yeah, for the UAPs. Okay, so it's sort of talking about the shape, the Tic Tac. These are unofficially released, authenticated by the U.S. Department of Defense. They are not evidence of extraterrestrial craft. They are always very careful to make that claim. or not make that claim. I should say more accurately, but they are confirmed examples of objects U.S. military pilots could not immediately identify. An FLIR1, also called a Tic Tac, shows an oblong Tic Tac shape. Why it's notable: this is the most famous UAP case and considered the strongest multi-sensor incident, radar plus visual plus FLIR. A Gimbal, a U.S. Navy fighter squadron training mission off the East Coast in 2015. So they were using advanced sensor technology, showing a saucer-like object moving against high winds. It appears to rotate like a gimbal while maintaining a stable flight. And yeah, you could hear the pilot say, "Look at that thing, it's rotating." Why it's notable? The apparent rotation without aerodynamic surfaces. And I think that's a very important distinction right here. Without aerodynamic surfaces for which it could perform those maneuvers, it seems that it's able to perform those maneuvers regardless of the current conditions. And to go fast, the U.S. Navy training mission off the East Coast. Key features: shows a small, fast-moving object skimming over the ocean. That's the one the pilots were having trouble getting a target lock on. Demonstrates a UAP with no clear propulsion or wings captured during ordinary training operations. Okay, so those are some more interesting definitions and qualifications. Now, I do know that some of these things are being explained by sensor issues or sensor malfunctions or what are sometimes called digital artifacts within the system. I suppose that could be a logical and or rational explanation, but my question is, why then do these issues persist? Why do then these questions exist? And if that's so, why haven't they been debunked? And if it's such a logical explanation, how come the Department of Defense is putting this out there saying, we don't know? We don't know what this is. They could have easily done the weather balloon thing, like in Roswell, New Mexico, where they could say, oh, it was a weather balloon and we bought it for 70 years. Okay. Wow, I think still so much more to digest here. We'll never be done with this topic. We're going to switch and bounce around, but still more to come on UAPs next week. All right, until then, keep your eyes on the sky.